Somehow, the morgue still smells better than this neckbeard. Neckbeard wouldn't leave me alone while I was at work. P.S. I work at a funeral home. And you wouldn't think that job is too creepy until the neckbeard walks in. Here's some background. So I work at a funeral home as a director's assistant. I'm currently in school to be a funeral director. It's not as creepy as you'd think, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to message me. So working as a director's assistant is the perfect job to get experience. It's not a job that I could do, I think. The couple of people I've known that have done it were a little bit off, but I'm gonna reserve judgment about this OP. I'm one of few young people at my work. I'm 20, so I always get asked questions about my job by guests at services that I'm working. My basic duties are setting up for funerals, cleaning up afterwards, greeting guests, assisting with paperwork, leading funeral processions, things like that. Oh, you're not really dealing with the bodies. I thought you had to like get them dressed and put makeup on them or something. I guess it's just like being a wedding coordinator, but for a dead person. So yeah, I could do that job, I think. I'm not gonna have any bridezillas in that line of work, right? While I'm at work, I'm required to wear a suit. It's my choice if that's with a skirt or pants, but tonight I wore a pencil skirt, a button-up white shirt, a blazer, a pair of ballet flats. Very sensible outfit, if you ask me. Sensible is the word that I would choose. Tonight, I was working an evening visitation that was 4 hours long, so just a lot of standing and talking to guests. About halfway through, someone walked over to me and stood uncomfortably close. Enter Neckbeard. I guess funeral beard, why not? He was tall and lanky, with greasy long hair and a stubbly attempt at a beard and a mustache. He was wearing an unbuttoned gray vest over a Spider-Man t-shirt.
I have the power of minutes left to live. I shit web.
Have you no reverence for the dead, sir? You're just a mess. You put the vest on, you couldn't even button it. I have a cold, so luckily I couldn't smell him, which I am grateful for. This conversation is what follows. Funeral beard. Excuse me. OP. Yeah, how can I help you? Funeral beard. I have to ask, why is a fine young woman such as yourself working at a funeral? Well, this went from 0 to 100, I'm gonna tell you that. Who asked you? But OP is at work, so instead she just says, well, I'm in school to be a mortician, so this is really good experience. Funeral beard. Why would you go to school for that? You could have a nice job like a teacher or a nurse. How is your worldview this small? I just want to ask you that. Women are only teachers and nurses, all of them. If he sees a lady mechanic, his head's gonna explode. OP defends herself, saying, I actually really like my job. I get to help families through a really difficult part of their life. Funeral beard. Don't be silly. You don't help families. You just charge them a lot of money for pointless frills that go along with death. Those pointless frills do provide a lot of closure, though. You think you'd have closure if we just kicked them in a hole and lit them on fire? No. At this point, OP says, I was uncomfortable, and I just wanted to get away, so I told him I had to go brew some more coffee for the visitation, and I walked away. A little while later, while I'm greeting people arriving, Neckbeard came back over to me and began chatting again. Funeral beard, it's a lovely service, isn't it? Yes, all of these pointless frills have surely made it an experience to remember. OP just says, yeah, I think it's going really well. It's a great turnout. I can tell insert deceased person's name here was very well loved. Funeral beard, yeah. I didn't know him. My parents made me come with. And they couldn't even make you slip into like a plain white t-shirt? You gotta wear the fucking Spider-Man t-shirt? Should've left him in the car. Left the windows rolled up, child locks on. A little bit of heat stroke. Might fix his brain parts in some way we can't predict. Now, this neckbeard looked to be in at least his late 20s, so I'm not sure how his parents made him come, Oh, come on. We both know how, OP. Like, you want to keep living in this basement? You got to come and do the funeral thing. He's like, come on, my guild's gonna raid on World of Warcraft. Maybe that joke's a little too close to comfort for me, at least for a time. OP just says, well, it's nice you decided to come and show your support. Funeral Beard. So what are you doing after this, OP? I had forgotten that I had my name tag on, with my first and last name on it. Well, that is a terrible policy. First or last, please. Even if you get away from the funeral, the Facebook stalking's gonna happen. OP says, I'm just cleaning up, and then I'm going home and sleeping. It's gonna be an early morning tomorrow because I'm working the funeral. It was a night visitation with the funeral in the morning. Also, big mistake letting him know that I'd be there tomorrow. Funeral Beard. You'll be here tomorrow. I'll get to see your lovely face again. Oh, God. I'm calling it sick. OP. Yeah. It's my job.
Well, duh.
And he still can't make that distinction. Funeral Beard. Oh, wonderful. You'll light up my day. And I'll look forward to chatting tomorrow. You'll light up my day. Ugh. On top of that, who hits on anyone at a funeral? Ugh. Calling her a pretty young lady, questioning her job, her talking about her lovely face. Unfortunately, the social contract dictates that we still can't really, let him have both barrels, because he hasn't said anything outright, and it's infuriating me. OP just says, yeah, okay, well, I need to keep working, awkwardly smiling and turning away. You could just do that at the funeral tomorrow too, right? At this point, my coworker came over to me, and we were just talking business, nothing interesting. Funeral Beard, however, just hovered behind me. He continued to follow me for the whole night like a vulture. Oh, God. When I finally got off work, you can guess who had found my Facebook and had proceeded to message me and friend request me. That's right, Funeral Beard. I just knew it was coming. These are things you can feel in your bones. His message said, Funeral Beard, hello, ma'am. Ma'am? It's a step up from Milady, but also she's younger than you are. I'm so confused. It was so lovely seeing you today. I feel like we connected. Did you feel that too? No. See, this is outright. This you can respond to and be like, I feel no connection whatsoever. Let's get that straight right now. You're so beautiful in your profile picture. I didn't realize you were a figure skater. My profile picture is not of me figure skating. I figure skated when I was younger, and he had to have looked far back into my pictures to find that. Younger, like underage? Oh, don't do this to me.
911. Officer, right there. FBI, come on in, fella.
It could have just been a terrible interaction without having to turn illegal. God damn it. Funeral Beard continues. I know a show you would love that's about figure skating. I'll share it with you tomorrow when we meet again. Until then, kisses! What? And then there's a bunch of Sal faces here, which means I think this was ripped from a Q-Star video. So this poster couldn't find the original post, but that's fine. It's still good eats, still got my own spin. So I'm guessing that he's gonna tell me that I'd like Yuri on Ice or some crap, which I do, but I'm not gonna let him know that. I looked up this thing and now we can make a connection. Wow, I would hate that. And then he's gonna follow me around the whole service all day tomorrow because yes, of course, a funeral service is the appropriate time to try and flirt with someone. At a fucking funeral service! It never even registered to him. I guarantee that this was a bad thing. He just saw a lady and set his phasers to stun. Please don't do this. I know this isn't a very bad encounter, but I thought it was kind of funny, just because it takes place at a funeral. Yeah, there's some inherent comedy there. That's why it caught my eye. Edit, I just got off work. I'm literally still in the parking lot, and oh my god, it got so much better. I was trying not to laugh the entire time. So I decided today to bring back one of my old tricks from when I had worked at a bar. I wore a fake wedding ring. There you go. And when anyone asked, I said I was happily engaged. I filled my coworker in, the adorable 70-year-old man who was as sweet as can be, on what was happening. Neckbeard followed me around the entire time, not just during visitation. During the actual service, he didn't go into the church chapel. He just sat in the lobby and stared at me. He didn't say a word, just lurked. God, if I could just get, like, a stream of consciousness recording of what's going through his brain right now. That would be the finest cringe that we've ever laid eyes upon. Why aren't you saying anything? Stop looking at me! Can we say any of these things? I guess not. After the service was done, I began cleaning up. Funeral Beard walked over to me and started trying to talk to me. I didn't even hear a word he said before my coworker started with his genius plan that I didn't know about. Coworker, oh, P, I'm so happy for you and your fiancé. Have you picked a date for the wedding yet? OP, oh, not yet. It's all just so new. We're thinking next spring, though. Coworker, spring weddings are beautiful. Can't wait till I get my invite. Then Funeral Beard cuts him off. You're engaged? Why did I not hear of this before? And surely you didn't have a ring on yesterday. I mean, you never asked. I thought we were just having a passing chat. OP says, yeah, I am engaged and I definitely had a ring on. You probably just didn't notice. I then shoved my left hand into his face to show the ring. A bit of light gaslighting, but for the greater good. He then grabbed my hand and tried to pull off the ring. I jumped back and whipped my hand away. The remaining people at the church began to stare. Yeah, you've definitely just crossed the line here, friendo. I'm sure he was gonna look for a tan line or something, but because he didn't get to see the tan line, now he's totally in the right? She was totally lying the whole time. Which she was, but yeah, you've overstepped your boundaries way too many times now. Coworker interrupts this moment and says, whoa there, buddy. Calm down. He took a step between us and crossed his arms. Dude, coworker's turning into a Chad. Coworker, I think you need to leave. The service is over. OP's not interested in you, and you are acting like an ass. Funeral Beard. Sir, I meant no disrespect. She's just so lovely and sweet, and I know she has these feelings for me, because we talked last night. Were any feelings expressed last night? No, it's just you gushing, sending a message this morning, over an unrequited Facebook request. Gushing. Coworker corrects the script. You mean you stalked her at her place of work where she can't be rude to people because she's scared of being fired? Yeah, well, no such luck. Even though she's too scared to be rude, I'm not. I'm 74, and I have to put up with more bullshit than this. Is it just me, or did he just double in size in my mind? He is an imposing figure. Funeral Beard, OP, let's go for a chat. Could I escort you to your car? OP, actually, I'm not Coworker interrupts. She's not interested, buckaroo.
Slow down there, buckaroo.
Yes, he really said buckaroo. It just adds to the chadliness for me, honestly. Now leave before I need to escort you to your car, pal. He didn't say pal, but I imagine that he did. Buckaroo. Neckbeard then huffed and puffed and made his way to the car. I'll update again if he ends up messaging me on Facebook, but in the meantime, oh my god, I love my coworker. You definitely saved your bacon right there. Funeral Beard's probably like, is this her dad or something? I don't understand what's going on. No, it's just bros being bros. Humans looking out for humans, right? He's 74. He's seen what goes on before, so good on him for stepping up, running some interference there. OP never did post an update. This post deleted from her profile. But the video is still looking a little bit short, so let's get something else in here. Some tasty original content from my personal subreddit r/ReddX reads. Oh, this looks like a good one. Let's go over there right now. Melonbeard, the fearsome melon chucker neckbeard of the Caribbean. Is he really like a pirate or something? Is that why everybody got scurvy? Might make a saga if this gets enough votes, which generally it's my subreddit, it's relatively small. Most people just read. Then again, maybe 8 votes is enough. I don't know. Throwaway account since I don't use Reddit. My user is Cyrena in your Discord, by the way, Mr. ReddX. Oh, I don't know if we talked, but I've probably seen you. I was just lurking. Hey everyone, I've been watching YouTubers like ReddX and Vinci write crazy stories about neckbeards, and I wanted to share a personal story about this guy in my high school, whom we will call Melonbeard. I mean, I haven't written even one story for the channel. Not by mine own hand, but I am very happy to share personal stories of everybody else, sure. Before we get into things though, I'm gonna tell you about myself and the characters of this story, and a little bit of warning here, don't eat any of those green melons while reading this. Was that cantaloupe or something? OP is 16, just moved to Nassau from Freeport. I'm super nerdy and I love science and strategy games, especially stuff by Paradox Interactive, and also unfortunately, League of Legends. Dun dun dun! I give you a pass on the League of Legends stuff for the Paradox stuff. You take the good, you take the bad. You take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life! Melonbeard, also 16. Chronically online, overweight, patchy pube beard. Basically the definition of a textbook neckbeard, just without the fedora. But it's the fedora on the inside that counts, right? Yeah, something like that. She got the spirit. And surprisingly, without the acne. He's loud, always tries to make random references to video games and animes that nobody's heard about in class. After school, he shows random kids his phone with some memes on it. I mean, he's just really annoying. He's trying to make a human connection, but yeah, I guess he doesn't know how because he's chronically online. Like I said, usually I give kids a lot of leeway. 16, come on. He ain't got it figured out yet. None of us did. I put up with him for the sake of my friend group at the time. None of the members are really important to the post. If this gets enough likes though, I may make another post with some of our other incidents and more info on members of the friend group. What you should know about him though, is that they tolerated Melonbeard's advances. That's why we got a zero tolerance malating policy around here. So let's talk about our friendship, which began innocently enough. We shared some mutual friends and we all hung out together. At first, Melonbeard seemed tolerable despite his appearance and distinct odor. However, as time went on, he started making advances towards me that made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. It became apparent that he had romantic feelings for me, and he wasn't shy about expressing them. Shoot him down, tolerate nothing, burn it to the ground. Unfortunately, his approach to these advances was far from romantic or respectful. Oh, that's that's a horse of a different color. To make matters worse, he would often make these moves during lunchtime in front of our friends, which isn't very respectful either. While my other friends tolerated his behavior, they didn't actively discourage him either, which was disheartening. Damn, time to find a new friend group. I felt stuck between a rock and a hard place because I valued our shared interests, but I couldn't ignore his inappropriate actions. And well, you shouldn't! Let's slip the dogs of war! No, seriously, you need to tell him off in a big way. One particular incident remains etched into my memory. The infamous Melon incident. Hence the name. It happened on Valentine's Day, a day known for love and affection. The period right before lunch, Melonbeard asked me out for like, I don't know, the 6th time this year. As I sat at my usual table during lunch, surrounded by the friend group, Melonbeard, in a fit of frustration after yet another rejection, decided to make his feelings known to the world. In a fit of rage and embarrassment, he grabbed a melon, one of the green ones, honeydew, I think, and he hurled it towards me. I vividly remember the melon hurtling through the air and then immediately plopping down on the table, kind of like how chucking a bowling ball just falls down onto the lane because of his weak arm. It was a shocking and mortifying moment that left me feeling exposed and vulnerable. That's about the point where you grab the melon, stand up, and like hurl it right back at him. Oh, you want to play melon ball, huh? I was varsity before I moved from Freeport to Nassau. That's what it was, right? I remember things. In that moment, I couldn't contain any of my astonishment or frustration. "What the hell are you doing, Melonbeard?" I exclaimed, trying to make sense of his outburst. Melonbeard, his anger still evident, replied, "I can't take it anymore. I've been nothing but nice to you. I've been there for you and all I get is rejection. I love you. And I deserve a chance." Bro, you don't even love yourself. You're incapable of loving another person. Nobody deserves nothing. Not in this old life. I took a deep breath, trying to find the right words to express my feelings. "Melonbeard, we've had this conversation so many times before. I don't have romantic feelings for you, and that's not going to change. Your behavior's making me incredibly uncomfortable, and throwing a melon at me is not going to win my heart." It's a very mature response for a 16-year-old. I would have gone with hucking the melon back at him, but you know, different strokes. Defensively, Melonbeard shot back, "Well, maybe if you gave me a chance, you'd see how amazing we could be together. I'm a nice guy." There it is. Oh wait, he's a neckbeard. Yeah, they're one and the same. "Unlike all those jerks you hang out with." I haven't dated anyone, ever. I do go hang out with some boys after school, but we literally just split our homework up between each other, which was what he was talking about, at least I think. No, trust me, OP, he's got this whole intricate fantasy life planned out for you. "You're a club chick and you wear too much makeup and Chad is coming over every weekend." Every minute you're not in his sight, he's obsessing. And all of that buildup is kind of what created this outburst. Doesn't make it right, but maybe it does explain his reasoning, sort of. Anyways, OP takes a moment to gather her thoughts and then responds firmly. "It's not about being nice, Melonbeard. It's about respect and boundaries. I've made it abundantly clear that I'm not interested, and you need to accept that. Our friendship is over. Never speak to me again, you disgusting pig." So you did burn it to the ground. Hey, that's so nice. Happy ending, all's well that ends well. I'm sure he stayed away from you after that, didn't he? Right? Didn't he? I walked away to the table with those guys that I work on my homework with, mostly because I didn't really have anyone else to talk to, but I was done with Melonbeard. I was done with that piece of crap friend group who enabled him. I was done with all of them, and I needed to start fresh. See, you got options, that's nice. I couldn't continue to endure Melonbeard's relentless advances and the discomfort that they brought into my life, nor should you have to. I severed basically all ties with him, avoiding him at school and distancing myself from our mutual friend group. It wasn't easy, but for my own mental health, I really did have to. Change is never easy, OP, but this time it seems like it's for the best. So good for you. Looking back on that, after writing all this, I now realize that there was a silver lining to Melonbeard's behavior. It taught me the importance of standing up for myself and establishing clear boundaries, even if it means cutting ties with someone who I once considered a friend. Ultimately, I learned a valuable lesson about self-respect and the significance of surrounding myself with positive and respectful individuals. Yeah, maybe there is a reason for neckbeards, you know? To teach you to draw that line for yourself and to hold it. Hold it firmly, for God's sake. Melonbeard is definitely a weird dude, but hopefully after letting Milady get away, he'll take a good look at his actions and think about his life, where it's going, who he wants to be. I know they're big questions for anybody, especially a neckbeard, but Hope floats. He's only 16. He's got time to figure it out, all right? Relatively interesting one-off, but I think the video's still short, so let's go into this one that I found. A story about Sam and SFW. Oh, those are my favorites. No quicker way to catch my eye, I'll tell you that much. So, I'm going to get the trigger warnings out of the way first. This post is about me saving someone from becoming an hero, which is sewer sliding, you know? Committing to Minecraft, little Epsteining. I think since Susan's gone, we could actually say suicide, but not too much. This person is also someone who I did not know at the time had been on parole for a heinous action involving soliciting action from a minor. Ew, this is a very different Sam from the Sir Sam that we know and love to hate. This guy's just hateable. This story also includes illicit substances. Yeah, don't worry about that. So does my body. Hopefully you got all that. As the story goes, a few years back, I'd been friends with a guy who I met through AA. I was a recovering alcoholic. I mean, I still am, but I don't drink until I pass out in alleys anymore. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Once an addict, always an addict, etc., etc. But hey, improvement's improvement, so good on you, OP. I spent a year in the AA cult, and I did better outside of it. I'm 5 years past it, and able to drink responsibly. There's one thing that still haunts me, however. And here is where we introduce Sam, a man around my age at the time. I was 22, he was 24, who had the same interests as me. He helped me open up to the group and feel more comfortable talking about my issues. I should clarify that Sam didn't look or act like a beard, at least not publicly. He had good hygiene and wasn't a creep, at least not publicly. He had dorky interests, but hey, as long as you don't unironically make the Nintendo Switch or anime your entire identity, then you're cool. We're all a bit intolerable about our interests to some degree. Ain't that the truth? You know how many times I start talking YouTube analytics to people and they're like, I couldn't care less. I have to check myself. Anyways, I digress. I always put other people first, not caring about my own emotions. I have what you might call a messiah complex, where I find joy in sacrificing my well-being for others. Not a messiah complex, a martyr complex. But you got the spirit, that's fine. This will be important later. I hung out with Sam outside of AA, grabbing a bite to eat or walking around the mall. We played video games, all sorts of friendly friend stuff. He helped me learn Spanish and become as fluent as I am now, to which I am grateful, but I never really pieced together why he was actually in AA. Sam was honest. You see, he would tell people that he knew were uncomfortable with LGBT+ about how he was gay. Is that honesty or just stirring the pot to see what happens? I suspected and told him I had no problem with that. I told him I respected his honesty and I wouldn't tell a soul unless he wanted me to. Oh, you're the someone he knew. You're the uncomfortable person, OP? I guess it's not a crazy statement. You don't see me going to pride parades. But then came winter. I understand that relapses are common, but Sam relapsed real bad. I didn't know everything that was in his system, but he called me at 3 a.m. during a blizzard one night, telling me he wanted to borrow one of my guns. He explained, drunkenly, mind you, that he wanted to shoot one off before he was locked up. I got dressed, told him I'd be at his place soon. I didn't bring the gun. Well, that's well advised. I'm sorry, buddy. 3 a.m. just isn't the gun shooting time, you know? I met him outside in the alleyway with him drinking rum out of a Snapple bottle. I asked for a swig while letting him have a cigarette. While the drunken Sam was focused on lighting up, I emptied his booze onto the sidewalk. Here, let me show you my gun, I said before he could protest. I pulled out a bottle of water from my long winter coat and gave it to him. I told him to hydrate himself, tell me what was going on, and then go to bed. No more alcohol. Yeah, shotgun that water, bro. Then he explained everything. He did want my gun to off himself, and I figured as much. His drinking was just a relapse. I figured that too. Hell, I wanted to drink myself into oblivion as well. I told him after he was done venting to go inside and go to sleep. When he woke up, he could text me, but he should shower and talk to his mother. apologize and own up to this. Man, that's a tough pill to swallow. This whole thing got really sad. We got a couple of derpy ones and then just a very somber one. Lordy. Sam's parole officer never did catch him for all this. Then about a month or 3 later, after I abandoned AA, I stopped hearing from Sam. Sometime later, I saw one of the other guys my age who we palled around with at the gas station that I went to for smokes, and he told me everything. He said Sam was in AA because he was a drunk stoner who got sent to jail for trying to bribe a minor boy with weed, so that boy would let Sam suck him off. Oh my god. Maybe you should have given him the gun, I'm just saying. All of a sudden, it's a lot less sad. Hey, Sam dropped off the face of the earth again recently because he was in jail once more, this time for something very similar, but with crack cocaine. It doesn't work, Sam. Why do you continue to do this? I feel as if I had never visited him, he might have gotten put away sooner and never been a sex pest to that minor, even though there was no intercourse. But then again, if I never visited him, he might have offed himself in some other form, or went out driving and maybe hurt someone. It's a complicated scenario, P. There's no right way to slice that, honestly. Hindsight is 20/20. You did what is objectively the right thing to do at that time and be there for somebody that you considered a friend, acquaintance. Hell, I mean, even if I just did it for a stranger, that's completely justifiable. You saved a life. It's not really your fault that that life wasn't worth saving. At least in some people's opinions. Allegedly. God, that was heavy, dude. Okay, let's try one more. Just one more. And then I'm gonna get out of here for the day for reals, alright? Thief Beard, the alcoholic klepto. Yeah, sure, why not? So, Thief Beard was a guy that I knew in high school, and this story is the story of his downfall and how we all fell out as friends. I mean, high school friends really never gonna last, if we want to be perfectly honest. In the moment, you're like, this is gonna last forever. Then high school ends, and you're like, where'd everybody go? The characters are Flop, R-O-P, a tall, thin, emo person who Thief Beard had a crush on. I came to find that out a bit later. Bruh, my best friend at the time, cool dude, but barely had time for anything other than work. On his grind for realsy reals. Violet, another friend of mine who brought Cards Against Humanity to every game night. Oh, you got all the expansions though? You have to have all the expansions. Thief Beard is the creepy Neckbeard, who ended up being a violent thief. Oh, violent? Why they all gotta be violent, man? Let's go back to the funny stories like at the beginning. Can we do that? I think we could do that. You just rewind the video, it's easy. I met Thief Beard in my high school days, where I would probably be qualified as a neckbeard as well. Yeah, there's birds of a feather in it. I think my neckbeardery is why it's so fascinating to me, even after years. My friend group consisted of Thief Beard, Bruh, Violet, me, and a couple of other good friends who are unimportant to this story. Thief Beard would constantly hit on Violet, to the point where it made even us other neckbeards uncomfortable. Well, if I just act as lecherous as possible, there's no mistaking my intent. Why is Violet hanging out too? She like legbeard status? I'm surprised she's not running off into the dark of the night. After high school, Violet and I still stayed friends, but Thief Beard and Bruh fell out of touch for a bit with us. Cut to my 21st birthday, and me and Violet are going out to drink for the first time. Yeah, mistakes were made! We decided to invite Bruh because we were trying to piece back together the good friend group. It's never the same, Bruh. It's never gonna be the same, dude. So Bruh arrives on time and we're about to get drinks when lo and behold, Thief Beard walks in. He plops right down next to us without even asking. We all get drinks. I don't remember what any of us had except for Thief Beard. He had several Miller Lights, sponsored by Party Demon, whoa! They had to open like 12 or something just for him. Oh, this is alcoholism. Please drink Miller Lite responsibly. Afterwards, we all went back to my apartment to have a game night. Violet brought Cards Against Humanity, as she always did in high school, and honestly, we had a blast. That is until Thiefbeard went to the Minute Market down the street and bought another case of Miller Lite. He ended up drinking all of them and getting absolutely smashed, and we had to send him home early. He really does seem to have a problem, and that's sad. I hope he gets over it. After the party, me and Violet were cleaning up, and that's when I couldn't find my laptop, Nintendo Switch, several chargers, my DVD player, and like 3 or 4 of those Lego sets that I used to collect. Somehow, when we were all distracted, Thiefbeard managed to sneak them out of my living room and into the closet where his backpack was, and he stuffed them all in there. Holy shit. What a dirtbag, dude! Now you go play Kick Door and see if he still has them. You have to do it like the next night. He hasn't gotten rid of them yet. Catch him in the act. After that night, Thiefbeard would send all sorts of creepy messages to Violet and me, insinuating that he wanted a threesome with both of us. I confronted him about the stolen items, and he blubbered about not taking them. He just wanted to help me make space in my apartment.
Huh?
That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. I'm just helping you to move, even if you don't know where you're going yet. Is he drunk right now? I'm pretty sure he's just perpetually drunk. OP says, to be clear, I had not ever said that I wanted to make space, and my apartment isn't messy, so I got no idea where he got that from. He made it up. It's easy. I ended up telling his mom, who he still lived with, and she ended up paying for all of my devices because she said that Thiefbeard threatened her because she asked him to pay me back. Oh, that situation is horrible. That's untenable, that poor mother. But really, I mean, you look at the long game, it is kind of her fault. Like, you're still paying for his mistakes, even though he's old as shit now. You know what? You want to beat me up? Go ahead. Then I don't have to provide you room and board anymore. You get 3 hots and a cot, paid for by the good old taxpayers. That ending is really sad too, but I guess it's the closest that we're gonna get today. It seems to have taken a turn for the worst. But maybe that's poetic justice. Maybe I just lured you in with the nice ones, and I'm like, hey, let's say some horrible things. And so that is the tale of Thiefbeard, the creep who stole from me and wanted a 3-way with me and my friend. This is the first post I've done, so hopefully it's good. It was alright. A little short, but I don't know, beefed out this video nicely. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all them things. Links in the description to follow me on social media. There's also Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. The thanks button if you want to support me monetarily. $1, totally science. Trace amounts, something like that. Join us again tomorrow, friends. Keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands. And of course, always remember that you are loved. You are worthy. You definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.